What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Just Knock Smith channel. In today's video, as you all seen by the title below, we're going to be building some Dodge taillights. So these things are going to turn out absolutely wicked. I'm going to go ahead and throw up a photo on the screen of how good these things turned out. And if you want to build you a set of Dodge taillights exactly like this that will turn out just as good, then follow along and watch every second of this video. And also drop a comment, drop a thumbs up, and hit that subscribe button so I can continue making these badass videos for you guys. So this is, I'm not sure on the year models, I'm not a big Dodge guy, but these are going in a 2012 Dodge 2500, actually for a local customer. And as you can see here, the magic has already been done. This lens has already been taken off. I just now done this, just now pulled these out of the box. If you want to pick up these exact taillights, they will be in the description box down below. So don't forget, click that link. Very easy. Click the link, click order, buy, whatever. And I'm going to also link a couple other things down below as well. We've already got all that old gunky sealant out of there. I'm going to link the sealant that you'll need to seal these back up. I'm going to link some masking tape that I used on the LED C-bar piece to do the cool little pinstripe and make it look really, really clean and get rid of some of that red so there's not so much red. I'm going to link a good primer to use, a good adhesion promoter to use. I'm going to link a good clear coat, base coat you can pick up like at O'Reilly's or Advanced Auto Parts, maybe in a can if you even want to. All of this stuff I do spray out of a gun, except for my adhesion promoter and sometimes my primer. If I'm primering a lot of stuff, then I won't... If I'm primering a lot of stuff, then I'll spray the primer out of a gun. If I'm not primering a lot of stuff, then I will use the primer that is dropped down in the description box down below. So you can click that link and order everything that you need. So I think that's everything. I may put a little pick set, a good little pick set. I picked these up at Harbor Freight, but I will link these in the description box down below to where you can just order everything on Amazon in one swing. And you'll be ready to go and build you a set of taillights. So anyway, I've already got this tail light opened. I have a heat gun. I will also link this heat gun or one just as good or better below. And what you want to do, you cannot put these in the oven. It will warp the lens. It will bend the lens. The adhesion sealant stuff that they use does not heat up by the time the lens starts warping. So a heat gun is definitely the way that you want to go about this. It will save you so much. I don't really know that it will save you time. It technically does because you don't have to wait on the oven to preheat. You don't have to wait on the taillights while they're in the oven. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna turn this on. I hope that you can still hear me good. And we're gonna go around and 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 around. You wanna stay about an inch away from the back housing. And there are no screws in the back of this housing, but this method does work on other taillights as well. So you'll want to take out any visible screws. But yeah, so you just go around and around and around with a heat gun. I have already warmed these up, not in the oven, just with the heat gun before I started filming. So they have cooled down just a little bit. So I'm going to go around this and then I'll speed this up so you don't have to watch that. But I'm going to go around and around and around. And then once we get that heated up, I'm going to take my pick and I'm going to slowly start prying. Just slowly start prying this lens off, guys. It's not rocket science. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this is easily done. It is not easily done. I have broke well over $2,000 worth of taillights learning everything and learning the temperature, knowing when it needs to be hotter, knowing what is too hot, knowing what isn't hot enough. Like I said, I've done all of this completely self-taught, trial and error, wasting my money just to make you guys these videos. So I have had to learn what is too hot and what is not hot enough to where you don't crack the lens, because if you just heat these up a little bit and go prying on them, you will crack the lens and then you have to buy a whole nother set of tail lights. So I'm gonna continue heating this up. It needs to be a little bit hotter. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and use that pick and pry it apart. And luckily, the sealant on these taillights is actually coming apart on the lens. So that needs to be a little bit hotter on that side. Let's see this side. Okay, so it needs to be a little bit hotter. I've got it completely broke loose up through here and around to about right here, and then around to about right here. So I'm just gonna literally be heating this back section up and down. Whoa, about chucked them across the garage. Okay, so as y'all just now seen, I guess, I don't know how well you could see that, but I just ran that pick right down through there. And then I'm going to pull this apart. Now listen, I cannot stress this enough, guys. Do not touch the inside of this lens. Do not touch it. I don't know if you all are a perfectionist like me, but whenever I'm doing this, if there is a fingerprint or anything inside of there and you have to wipe the inside of the lens, it does like little bitty micro marring. Even if you use a super soft cloth, you will never have them like brand new. So I want you to take this, set it on something that's not all dirty and whatever. Just for right now, I'm gonna set this right here. And then I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna pull. While this is hot, go ahead and pull any of the old sealant out. Somehow, none of the sealant stuck to this. It all stuck to the lens, which is actually a good thing. So now we can take this lens, do not touch it. And we're gonna go ahead and pull all of this old sealant off. Just heat it evenly. Sometimes it'll come off in one good pull. Sometimes it'll come off in a million different pieces, guys. And if you don't get these exact taillights, this video may not even work, because these companies in China, sometimes they seal them with good sealants, sometimes they seal them with bad sealants, sometimes they put a lot of sealant, sometimes they don't put any sealant at all. But I have definitely had some that are way easier than this, and I've had some that are way harder than this. So that's where it comes in, having patience. You have to have patience. But I have had taillights, like the F250 taillights. I literally have to take a knife and scrape out all of the old sealant out of the channel on the actual taillight. Literally take a knife and scrape it all out. It will not come out. And I don't know the exact term for what they use that won't come out like that. But let's just say it's a pain in the ass, and I hope, I wouldn't want that on my worst enemy. Whatever taillights you get. If you don't go down in the description box below and pick up these exact taillights, I hope the taillights that you do buy aren't sealed with whatever the F250 taillights are sealed with, because it sucks. It sucks. We have both of these opened. So as you can see, the taillight is right here. Take off the lens, it's right there. So now what I'm gonna do is, you want to take good quality masking tape that doesn't leave a bunch of residue. I use a 3M brand, it's yellow. I will link it in the description box down below, so it will be labeled link to yellow good masking tape or something like that. Just check out the links in the description box down below. I will put everything that you need. I'm going to cover the whole inside of this lens, the inside, with strips of masking tape, okay? And the reason that I'm gonna do that is so then nothing can touch it, and so then I can mask off the outside of the lens and paint the lens and clear coat the lens. While everything is still taken apart, I'll be able to paint that and clear coat the lens. And then once everything is dry, all I have to do, slap it back together, ship it out to the customer, and then you're done. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I don't have to show you guys how to put masking tape on the inside of a lens, but keep in mind, whenever we put that butyl rubber back in that seam and squash it on there, it's gonna squash out of the seam. So try to memorize and guesstimate where you want your line to be, your paint strip around the outside, which you'll see. So we will be painting the outside of this lens with base coat, and then we'll peel the masking tape off of the outside, which will be covering all of this up. And then we will clear coat the whole lens. So this whole lens will be clear coated. You can wax it, ceramic coat it, paint correct it, anything, just like a body panel. So these things will be built the right way and the correct way, and they will last a very long time, hopefully. So I'm gonna go ahead and mask off the whole inside of the lens, get kind of a guesstimate measurement on the outside so we can go ahead and mask that off. I'll use some blue thin line masking tape and I'll use some yellow masking tape. Like I said, both will be linked in the description box down below. So please watch this video through and through before you comment questions that I cover in the YouTube video. I try to comment back to each and every one of you all, but sometimes people ask questions that I cover multiple times in the videos. So please watch the videos through and through, and it also helps the channel and motivates me and helps me keep creating how-to content and showing you guys how to do this, because you can learn this and make so much money, or you can learn this and save so much money. You can do both. There's plenty of tail lights and headlights in the world. There's plenty of trucks in the world. I don't know why more people don't make videos like this, but hey, better for me. Y'all can watch my videos on how to do this. I've got multiple. I've got F250, headlights, tail lights. These will be Dodge. I've got a Dodge headlight video. I don't know. I've got all kinds of stuff. Same thing with the third brake light. Take your heat gun around and around and around and around and around and around and around. Take your pick, pry off the lens. Boom, good to go. I'm gonna get all of this stuff masked up, get all of this stuff prepped. We're going to be sanding it with 600 grit, doing some adhesion promoter, maybe a light coat of primer. I'm not sure if I'm gonna primer these or not. From where they're black, you really don't have to, but definitely the adhesion promoter. Base coat, clear coat, put them back together. So after I get all of the stuff masked off, I will catch back up to you all in the paint booth, and we will be spraying some adhesion promoter, base coat, and clear coat on these, and then we'll peel all the masking tape off and slap them back together. All right, guys, so we've got everything masked off, and before we go into the paint booth, I just want to show you this right quick. On the back side, this one's already taken apart, obviously, but on the back side, you've got 1, 2, 3 holes that have some black sealant in there. You're going to want to heat that up with the heat gun, clean all of that old sealant out, and then you're gonna be able to access those Phillips head screws. And those Phillips head screws will pull off this piece right here, and this piece right here will have this motherboard screwed to it, just with these little bitty Phillips head screws. So make sure that you keep up with all of these. It's going to be gold screws that hold the actual assembly into the taillight housing. And then it's all these short little baby silver Phillips head screws that hold this motherboard actually to that, like that. So that just sits in there like that, and then you just... don't forget, get down there, click that subscribe button down below. These are some of our next videos that are coming up. And then we've got other videos on top of this as well. But we do have a new foam cannon that we're going to be doing a video on. This one's supposed to be a lot better than the last one that we done. And that video done really, really well. So we're going to be trying out a new foam cannon, and I will have a link on that in that video. We also have this Duracoating, Dura-dressing tire kit. So we are going to be trying out that and seeing what that's all about. And then we've got our taillights right there. We have his old set of paint match taillights right here, which don't really look that bad. But all of the LEDs burnt out of them. You can still kind of see the red inside of there. But they have these reverse light pods, and I'm gonna try to put these reverse light pods in our lights that we just now built. These are from Primo Dynamics, and they were a little bit over $1,100, I think. And they are just absolute garbage. They're siliconed all around on the back sides, which that's not really a horrible thing, but like whenever he got these, like there's silicone on the lens and stuff, and you know, whenever you're paying $1,100 for taillights, you kind of want them to work, but they completely filled up with water and all of the LEDs and stuff burnt out. But these are still good because these are made to be outside anyway, so these getting wet didn't really hurt anything. We're gonna try to fit these. I'm gonna put these in our taillights that we just now built. We also have a pressure washer right here. It is Amazon's pretty much cheapest pressure washer, and that company sent that to me to do a video on, so we will be doing a video on that as well. But anyway, guys, that's going to be all for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and all of you Dodge guys out there, get down there and click subscribe. I know I'm a 6.0 guy, but as y'all see, I'm trying to give to all of the truck community and show different brands of taillights, different brands of everything, and how-to content for everybody out there in the truck community. So don't forget get down there, click that subscribe button, drop me a thumbs up, drop me a comment below. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. We're almost at 10K subscribers, and I've got a huge surprise and a huge giveaway at 10K subscribers. So get down there and click that subscribe button, guys. I really appreciate each and every one of y'all. Always remember, everybody starts out as a nobody, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.